Hi friends, this is Untitled Chapter with the teaching and learning on geography lesson. This is the first lesson, we can say, the foundational course of the geography as well. And the name of the section is that how geographers view the world. So mostly this is the first lesson in all academic books in order to understand the geography and the geographer tools. So we'll be discussing some important aspects like that. What is geography? Geographers think spatially, the perspective of place, perspective of experiences, a changing world, the five themes of the geography. So these are the five themes: location, place, region, movement, and human environment interaction. So in this lesson, we'll be focusing on uh, these three aspects. What is geography and geographer think spatially and the perspective of the place. However, the perspective of experience and changing world we'll go for another lesson. Similarly, the five themes of view. So I'll be trying to consist or elaborate these content into 3 to 4 lessons. So in first lesson, our focus will remain the geography, geographer think especially, and the perspective of place. For this lesson, our learning outcomes will be, or I can statement, I can explain geographers think especially, I can describe the perspective of place. So today we'll be learning these 2 learning outcomes. Okay. As you know that in UAE, the KHP's requirement is that you have to embed the well-being in every lesson. So I'll be trying to embed things. Okay. For example, well-being is a physical well-being. Okay, for 2 minutes. Okay, you can apply this strategy. You can apply as well as emotional well-being. Okay, so write or tell at least 2 quality of yours. Okay, that will be emotional. For physical well-being, you can ask students to take a deep breath and release it. Okay, like that. So that will be good exercise. Okay, or for physical well-being before starting the lesson. Okay, then we'll move to the vocabulary words. These are the vocabulary words. Okay, content vocabulary and academic vocabulary. So I'll be talking about these content vocabulary and this dynamic academic vocabulary. Okay, so maybe in second lesson I'll focus on it. Okay, but this means that changing, the earth is always changing, but we'll be elaborating into next lesson. Okay, so let's see. First we'll go for the vocabulary words. You can see here the globes. Okay, so this is a line. Okay, which means equator, which is a center line, and this is an imaginary line which divides earth into 2 equal poles or hemispheres. So one is the northern hemisphere and the other one is southern hemisphere. So hemisphere, which means that half of the earth. So it is a 0 latitude. This is a horizontal line as well as latitude line. Okay, this is an equator. Okay, similarly another line you can see that's also an imaginary line which calls prime meridian, and it has a similar function which divides the earth in 2 equal halves. One is the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Okay. So these lines, these are the latitude lines. Okay, and these are the longitude lines. So we cannot say all these are the prime meridian lines, but we'll say that the meridian lines. Okay. The function of these lines, okay, and what is latitude and longitude of these lines, okay, we'll be discussing when we start the absolute and relative location. Okay. So this is the basic information about imaginary lines, that how what is the role of imaginary lines and how these lines divide the earth in equal parts. Okay. So regarding the spatially thinking, okay, that we need to understand what does it mean to think spatial. So spatial thinking, which means something relating with the space. It can be okay. What is in the space? Okay, like the planets and the movement of the planets and the stars and all these things. Okay, even it is also relating with the shape of Earth and the size of the earth, location, and all these things. Okay, so the spatial means relating with the space, shape, and size. Okay, I'll give you the further information. If you're gonna think, okay, interpret this image, that how geographer think especially. They are thinking, okay, with the data, and they have a question like data like that, the measurement of the earth size and the planets, stars, okay, and the movement of earth or rotation of earth. It's all about the calculation. However, special questions like where is it is where is it, and what is it, why it's moving, why it's rotating, okay, and special solutions, okay, that give the conclusion of these theories, which I have mentioned in my pedagogy lesson, that uh, the reasoning methods which mostly we use in science. Okay, so the geography is the Latin, okay, the word which is in English, it's not a it's a prefixes, which geo means earth and graphy means study. And further you can read, okay, that the all terms mainly with the space and the place. So thinking spatially means spatial refers to earth features, okay, what is in it, location, okay, and their shapes, how it look, okay. So these are also the special questions, okay. And while you are calculating the location, okay, an area and all these things, that shows the special data for that. So their relationship with the one another, okay, these all are the special thinking. So the geographer always thinks specially, and they need some logical answer to understand the earth and space. Okay, you can apply the video, an introductory video on it. Okay, I have just googled it and took that students can understand what does it mean to think like a geographer. So geographer, they don't think simply as the normal people as we think. Okay, they have particular questions. Okay, and these questions are relating with the special thinking, as I mentioned, the special data, special questions, and special solutions. Okay, they don't refer, okay, without the evidence for them. So this is the thinking of specially. And the perspective of place, a perspective of place described by the two of features. One is the physical features and another one is the human feature. For as an example, if you want to describe a particular place, you will be telling, okay, their physical characteristics, okay, how the land look like. It's the same like a geography thinking. What is the climate of it? What type of the vegetations are there? Their buildings and all these things, okay, that are describing the place. So these are the two elements, okay. Again, the human features, okay, such as the population, economic activity, and the use of the land. How they are building the built buildings and streets, malls. All these are the land use features. Economic activities like the business center, even the malls we can. Population means settlement of the people, okay, inside city. So these are the human features. So these are the man-made features, and physical features are some natural features. Okay. So the place can be described by two features, physical feature and human features. Okay, for example, if you want to describe the features of the way the physical feature, you will be describing that hot climate, it is a desert. Okay, the vegetation has a 5% of that. Okay, so these will be the natural feature and human features. Okay, the population, okay, you can see that it's a huge population, but Emirati is less, and across the world the people come and visit and settle there. Economic activities, okay, there's a business centers, there's a malls, and you can say that many opportunities of towards the people, especially for the South Asians. Okay, and what economic activities are there, you can see the fishings are here, trade is here, jobs here, and many more. Okay, use of land, okay, they properly organized. Okay, and they have a plan how to build the cities. Okay, and the road, streets, and the parks for the public uh, facilities, mosque. Okay, so use of land is properly organized by the government entity in order to, okay, settle people for. So it's not random, it's a well organized cities. Okay, and it is counted in megalopolis. So these are the learning, sorry, the two elements of the physical features. Okay, you can assign, okay, that reading, okay, with the guided reading. Okay, I have already mentioned up, or you can describe, okay, any given task or resource that the students can understand. Okay, or that what are the characters that makes place like Times Square or New York City special. You can change it to Burj Khalifa, Eiffel Tower, and many other things. Okay, which is a famous. Now, what are the characteristics of the that's overcrowded? Okay, the food streets are there, shopping malls, shopping centers, well designed. Okay, streets and uh, parks are there. Okay, entertainment cinemas are there. It's a If you're talking about the Burj Khalifa, that there's a fountain, there's a Dubai Mall, as well as the tallest building of the world, and people are crowded. Okay, even many things you can mention, okay, that uh, gives the best or possible explanation of the place. Okay, so as I told you that if you want to describe, okay, or the place, that you have to focus on the two characteristics of it. One is the physical characters, which is a natural characters that you can describe the climate. Okay, that what is the climate of the New York City. Okay, and that place. Okay, and another thing you can mention there's, okay, about that natural the features. Okay, which is a famous place to visit, like the mountains area, river, and all these things. If it is there, okay, that will be nature. However, for the human characteristics, okay, you can mention that the malls and streets, clubs, and restaurants, shopping malls, residential tall buildings. Okay, so keep in your mind, okay, while you are describing the place, you have to focus on the two characteristics. One is the physical and one is the human character. So this is the lesson one, in which we discuss the think especially, and the prime meridian and imaginary lines, and how geographer thinks especially, and the perspective of the place, which has two elements. Okay, physical and feature. So, if you have any question related these two learning outcomes, you can ask me. And if you have any suggestion for this lesson, you can also ask me that. So, in the next lesson, we will be moving for the experiences of the place and changing, as I mentioned, the dynamic of Earth, and then we'll be talking about the five themes of the geography. For more videos, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. We'll be meeting in the next lesson of the geography. Till that, goodbye.